All right, last part of the series. We are going to do this Hofner bass. It's like 4 parts of this with the Rhythm reamped boards. Shout out to Rhythm Reamped for actually doing most of the heavy lifting on this, designing the board, these universal boards. They work with Wii, PlayStation, Rock Band 1, Rock Band 2, Beatles, Rock Band 3 guitars. It's a very easy, you can go wireless, you can go wired, if you like that. Now, to do the Hofner board, which is the 4th variant, the last variant in the series, I had to go with one that I knew was a Hofner board. This is my own personal Beatles Hofner bass, actually with the Strumpix Duo, which I very much recommend when you play. It's perfect. I mean, it is a bass, so it should have a bass strum. I love it. But anyway, we're going to do the mod. Like I said, I couldn't be surprised because I already did the other Rock Band 2. The Hofners, the Rock Band 2s, they're either going to have an RB2 wireless board or they're going to have the Hofner board, which is weird because like the Gretschel might have a Hofner board, Rock Band 3 might have a Hofner board. But anyway, let's get to this. This one's already unscrewed. I'm not going to go through that. The Hofner has a obscene amount of screws. I think this one was at 200 when you take it fully apart. So I just got the back off here. Batteries. Let's pop that in, test it. I don't know if this one works with the batteries right now. I usually use this one wired. Yep, that one works. It is a Wii version. The blue lights. PlayStation usually has the red. Xbox has the green. These boards aren't necessarily compatible with Xbox unless you're good with soldering. I think on that Gretsch, that's Xbox, it's very close to LED and the guide button's a little weird. So you just have to modify the connectors, or maybe I'll make a new board that just for the Xbox with the normal boards. Rock Band 2 Xbox 360 is a lot different animal. It has a board up here instead of down there. I might do that in the future too if you guys want. It will need a different design. Also Rock Band 4, I will have to do more research. I do have all of them, I just don't usually open mine up because they just work right out of the box. I also have a Riffmaster I might try, see if we can do something about that. But Riffmaster with the joystick, all that funny stuff, I don't know if there's really a market for that. But anyway, these boards are going to be available in my Etsy shop. Also, if you want to do wireless adapters. Big news was that Sandtroller and my app has the Xbox 360 authorization. So it will work with stock Xbox 360s now, including the Wii, obviously, and the PS3. You can do PS4 or PS5 Rock Band 4 in Rock Band 3 guitar mode. That's all works. Last thing that needs authorization would be Xbox One Rock Band 4. Also, you can play Fortnite Festival. I don't. My teenager does. But let's get to this. All right. This is the Hofner with the Strumpix Duo. It works with this. Flip it around. Yeah, so Strumpix, Fretflix, it all works as long as you still have the original connectors. Right now this one is wired. It's actually pretty brilliant how they do the Strumpix and the Fretfix. I haven't done the Fretfix on this one yet, but I might do that in the future. All right, so first things first, This is the Hofner Guitar Rev 1 board. So we do have the boards for that. There are a lot of different variations of different names. Big indicator is obviously it's PS. It has the 2-wire tilt. So this wire up here is going to be a 2-wire. A lot of the boards that are similar, it looks kind of like this. Just shoot me an email. If it has the Hofner Guitar Rev 1, obviously the board works. But there are a lot of Rock Band 2 Beatles variants that will also work. It's just as long as the pinout's just the right way. So yeah, usually what you would do is you would unscrew all the screws. Like I said, there's like a ton of screws on this Hofner, so I'm not going to make you go through that. Phillips 2. Going to need some tweezers, some really tight tweezers to get off these plugs. Smaller, Phillips 1 screwdrivers, whatever you would need for that. So first off, we're going to take this battery out, the battery connector that goes to here. Just remember carefully, don't ruin these plugs. There are 2 tabs on either side of the plug, and you're going to ease out the cables without pulling the wires out of the crimps. That's bad. You don't want to do that. That's yeah, I'm a little rough with this because I have the crimp kit and everything like that. I know how to fix that. If you rip them out, you're not going to have a fun time. So let me get this out of the way. Like I said, on either side, there's a little tab on these GSTs. They're a little fiddly. You're just going to get your tweezers under there, lift it, and then hopefully pull it from the connector, not from the wires like I'm doing. But like I said, I'm just doing demonstration purposes here. If I rip it out, it might be good for the video. We'll see how we can fix that. So this is the neck connector. I'm going to take that out for the frets. The Hofner does have a weird amount of plugs, lots of plugs. So just however you like to do it, go from one end to the other. Just be careful you don't damage the plugs. There are going to be some plugs we're not going to use, like for the photo sensor and the microphone that connects or that calibrates with Rock Band. There's not really anything we can do with that yet. Obviously, first you're going to rip off any glue here with tweezers, or just carefully remove any glue. This one just has a tiny blob here, but that's not getting in the way. Some of them have a lot of glue. It depends on when it was manufactured, how the guy on the line was, or person on the line was feeling that day. I have seen a lot of glue on some of them. But yeah, we're just going to pop these out. We will, oh, and obviously, before we start taking anything apart and before you order a board, make sure you take a picture, because we are going to have to see this, or see how these are plugged in, so that we know where to plug everything. Otherwise, it gets a little messy. And you might short out a Pico, which that's not fun. You might blow out your LEDs, which that's not fun either. LEDs aren't really necessary to play the games, but I like the lights. I like the LEDs. It makes it just feel more legitimate. Yeah. Hofner is a pain, though, with this massive wires on the bottom. Just heads up. But this would also work on a Strat. This would also work on a Gretsch. This would also work on a Rickenbacker. Yeah, I still haven't... I do love the precision bass, but I haven't really seen if the boards work with that. I'm sure they would, because it's all the same inputs, really. It's just a matter of me soldering on the right connectors so that everything makes logical sense. Like I said, Rhythm Reamp did a great job designing these boards. I'm just the 200-pound gorilla that likes to take guitars apart and put them back together again. And selling the boards. Okay, so this Hofner has just one screw. The rest of it's just clipped in. I'm gonna pop that out. And there we go. Hofner guitar, Rev 1. I'll grab one out of my Hofner bag. Really need to make more. I'm running low on these. Actually, this one doesn't have the bind. I got to put the bind in on that one. Let me see if I have one that has all the plugs that we need. Yeah. No. Yes, this one works. This one's got the plugs, the bind. I do need to get to work on finishing that one. I think I ran out of these JST2s, but I got some on the way. I think I have a box somewhere too. I'll put them all in. So anyway, you just go reverse order from how we took it apart. You can put them in first. You can put the board in, and I wouldn't put the board in first because it's a little tight in there. This would be the neck, the frets. All right, this is where it gets a little hairy because this mass of wires. Get that out of there. You are going to have to go through each wire individually just to make sure. Most of these 2 wires are going to be, this 2 wire we're not going to use because this one goes to where this massive glue is. That's where the optical and the mic is. Same thing with this one. So these 2 are going to be off to the side. We are going to need to just follow the lines. This one seems to go to the pickup selector. So that would go into the one that says pickup. The strum is right now with my Strum Fix Duo. Like I said, I recommend the Strum Fix Duo. It's really nice on the Hofner. I don't like playing the Hofner regularly. The strum is a little weird, and the awkwardness of the guitar itself, how long and skinny it is. But it does make a good bass with the Strum Fix Duo. I mean, play how you like. It's a cool looking guitar. So we'll put the strum in that one. D-pad. We'll go into the D-pad. That one goes there. Yep. So that will go into the D-pad. And the last is the whammy here. That one, I guess I just follow the cables. Whammy is, where's the whammy? Oh, whammy's right here. Okay. And that goes to this whammy pot right there. All right, now this is the hard part is we need to make sure we plug in the right LED to the right LED. One of them is going to be the player indicator LED. That's going to be those 4 little lights on the bottom. That one goes on the bottom side, I think, on this one. Yeah, the bottom one that says LED. So that one is all the way down here. Yeah, because that one would have been, sheesh, I need to figure that out. This one here, because that one goes there, that one goes to the bottom. That is the LED player indicators. And if not, I'm going to blow out the LEDs. Not a huge deal, but we do want to have that guide button work and the sync button. So the one goes on that one, the one up here goes up here. Then we need to find this is the one that goes, this 2-pin goes to the photo microphone area, so we don't want to mess with any of those. This one goes to the other one, so we're not doing that one. There should be another, oh, here he is, on the bottom here. This one that goes to the tilt, this little tilt ball switch here, that's going on the top one for our tilt. And we are running out of space in this Hofner. So we are going to try to thread it on the underneath side. Yep, underneath the board and over up there. Okay. We'll pop this guy back in. Try not to pinch any wires. It's a little tight, I can tell you that. It's a little tight, but it works. Hofner is not as bad as the Warrior of Rock guitar, but it's pretty close. This one has the one screw that was over here. I can tighten that down. We take these, just tuck them away. And we get our programmed Pico. Like I said, you can just use a Pico W, or I can send you one pre-programmed. Otherwise, if you need the file for the settings, I will have my configurator tool set up soon. If you need a Wi-Fi adapter or a wireless adapter, I will have those on my shop as well soon. Just pop that in. Nice and satisfying. We are going to pop in the battery into here. Now, I do need to figure out a couple things on this Hofner. I use mine wirelessly, so it's not a big deal for me, but if you want to use it wired, there's not that handy little spacer here to run the wire out of the guitar. You will need to carve out a little notch to have the USB cord hanging out. I think I might design something, something 3D printed that we can get a better way to maybe do authorization to use it wired. So you will have to just like take a little notch out with, like, say, some wires or some flush cutters, drill a hole. You know, that would be up to you. On the Strats, it's not a big deal because the Strats always have this weird spacer thing for that extra plug that was never used. But the body design has it. All right, let's pop in these batteries and let's test this out. Now, I may have switched the LEDs wrong way and then it won't work. Right, let's try it. Pop it on. There we go. Look at that. We got the power indicator. Like I said, as is, it's ready to go to connect wirelessly to a dongle or to a Pico W that is paired with it. Otherwise, you'll have to figure out a way to run a USB cord out. Yeah, and you would just screw it all together and you would be good to go. All right, thanks. Oh, and like I said, if you want me to work on a board that works on anything that's not shown in my videos so far, like I said, the Rock Band 3 wireless works with a lot of the boards. Just contact me. There's been some weird variations that haven't been, I mean, they work, but I haven't really documented that yet. If your Beatles guitar, you know, if it has a different board than what I show on the site, let me know. We can figure that out. But these boards are pretty much universal. Xbox 360 guitars, I don't usually mess with those anyway because I like to use those natively. I like to have the, you know, Xbox 360 works pretty good. It's just these ones without the dongles, the Wii, the PS3. Even if you have the dongles, they're garbage. They're slow. I'm not a big fan. But if you have any questions, you know, just shoot it in the comments or ask me on my shop. But we should be good. Just close it up. Modded Hofner bass with the Hofner board.